Welcome back to Nigeria, the road to 2019. I'm Charles Anyanwu. Well, one senior female politician who's been spoken about as not only tough, ambitious and competent, but has been described, albeit wolfishly, as the best-looking senator in the country is Chris Anyanwu. In addition to being a highly respected PDP senator, she's also a journalist, publisher, radio station proprietor and author. And I'm delighted to say that Senator Chris Anyanwu is with me in the studio. Didn't mean to embarrass you there, but
yes.
I couldn't help saying that. But thank you very much indeed for staying with us. What tone would you like to be set in the upcoming presidential campaigns? What hard questions would you like to see asked?
I would like to hear from, the aspirants what they're going to do to rearrange Nigeria in a way that is sustainable. Everybody is dissatisfied with Nigeria the way it is now. From the east to the west to the south, middle belt, even core north. People like to see something happen. They think it's about time. I mean, this arrangement we had, was done at independence. And I think that in the life of a nation, from time to time, you should review things and see what is working and what is not working. And if it's not working, why do you drag it on? Because it's making the country perform below its potential. And everybody taking hope away from the people. And people have to have hope, in order to move forward. People are not very happy. And I think that is the number one thing, which leads me to the ideas that have been brought up in recent years and recent months about restructuring. I think that we should see what can be done to amend the way we coexist. The arrangement takes some of the responsibilities off the central government, maybe consider having a regional arrangement or a cluster of states together as we have now.
Well, in sympathy to what you're saying, I mean, a new poll, and I'm sure you'll like this poll because you didn't like the other one, which didn't support what you said, but I'm sure you'll be happy with this one, which says that somewhere between 70-something and 80% of 80-something% of Nigerians believe that some form of restructuring is not only essential, but it should be a big part of the 2019 campaign.
Yes.
Are you one of those PDP politicians, though, who thinks that President Buhari's view of the world still comes from 1983 and that this gives the PDP some confidence that Mr. Buhari will continue to shoot himself in the foot if he continues along this path? A question I'm sure you'll be happy with.
I think that his vision of the world needs to shift a little bit. It's time to shift.
Be further modernized.
Yes. Yes.
And you are, of course, running for re-election as the senator representing the Imo East Owerri constituency. You've been a senator since 2007. What tone are you setting in your campaign for re-election?
I am telling the people that times are changing and that important things will be happening in this country, and that this is the time to send people that have a strong voice, a good, breadth of knowledge of Nigeria, and people who understand them and what they want out of the federation.
Yeah, but you've already done it twice.
Yes.
You've been at the Senate since
Yes.
2007.
Yes.
Why should they send you back?
Why not? By the way, I'm not a sitting senator now. I left, for since 2015.
Right. So
I haven't
you're
been
going
there.
for a
I'm
third
going for
run.
a third run.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Why shouldn't they re-elect me or elect me? Because I am capable. Because I know Nigeria well.
Yeah, but what difference did you make to the people
enormous.
of Nigeria when you were there?
Nigeria or my constituency?
Well, your constituency and by extension, Nigeria.
Right, I spoke for them. I worked my heart out for them. In fact, some of the kids that I trained, I have quite a number of the kids that I put through training in the United States working. and earning money and repatriating. I did a lot. I developed 4 or 5 skills acquisition centers, and this is major skills. I'm not talking about, you know, little things like hairdressing. No, I'm talking about real skills, high skills. And when those skills centers are really, commissioned, we should be pushing out an average of 500 highly trained, highly skilled people every year, and then it could add up. What we want to do is to reverse some of the trends that we see. You know, a lot of the things that we do, a lot of the artisans, a lot of the skilled men that we use in Nigeria are coming from the West Africa sub-region, because they've taken time to train up their people, skill up their people. We want to reverse that trend. And we want to keep our people producing things and selling here, right, and selling to the region. And that's that I hope will be achieved, you know, when we commission some of these things. I did a lot, right, actually, you know.
And what about the any attempt on your part for, I mean, you're a very prominent politician, you're a woman, which makes it more significant. You're an inspiration to a lot of young women. Yeah. Is there an attempt at all to seize the opportunity of this upcoming election to promote diversity? Because, I mean, it is fair to say that one of the underrepresented groups in Nigerian politics and elective office is women.
Yes, I agree with you. We have a problem with that. We haven't really lived up to the bill. In fact, when you put us side by side with the West African sub-region, small countries like Gambia and all that, it is very embarrassing. Why do you see a female as the head of the biggest party in South Africa, female, you know, occupying all kinds of, you have had, you know, we saw Ellen Sirleaf here, next door, you know, become president for so long, and yet it's so difficult, you know, to find women in the top rung of Nigeria, the Nigeria government. I'm not talking about appointive position. I'm talking even a place like the legislature. Women are just, you know, also around. They're not in the leadership, and there's no reason why you should have National Assembly without strong women, you know, capable women in the leadership.
And has your political career, which by some accounts has been quite illustrious, I mean, your decision to enter politics been at least fueled by a drive to transform the face of Nigerian politics in that direction?
Yes, you know, after a while being a journalist, you know, I have covered the National Assembly, I have covered the executive, and after a while you want to get in there, because you see it's the same story that you cover, the same problems coming up all the time, and you see yourself a little bit frustrated because you cannot make things happen, you cannot contribute to improving the situation, and that is the kind of urge, I think, you know, what, you know, impelled me, you know, to run for the legislature, because I thought at least, you know, I can be part of making of laws to change some of these things that we've been covering.
And to what extent did you succeed in that?
I did come up with a few laws, you know, and some of them.
You mean bills? But those bills haven't become law.
They haven't, and that is also what what I don't understand about the Nigerian system, and I think the legislature has to really do something about it. That after working so hard, spending so much time and energy coming up with bills, and they are passed and they are sent to the executive, and they just don't do anything about it, and you don't kick. The Constitution gives you the power to override the veto if the president does not return those bills, you know, within a given the stipulated period. He has to at least say something and say, I'm not going to sign it because of so-so and so-so. But for the president to sit on the laws that have been passed, properly passed, you know, by representatives of the people without explanation, I think that we, you know, it's not right. And that is something that we ought to, because in fact, if we continue along that trend, if we were to have done that at the beginning, we wouldn't have NDDC today, because President Obasanjo was not going to sign, you know, give his assent of that. And that was one of those bills, you know. That,
and the NDDC is the Niger Delta Development.
Right. So
Company.
Important things can actually, we can miss important things by keeping quiet when we should be talking and engaging with the executive. But we are hoping that the next time around, after the elections, that we will have better relations between the executive and the legislature.
Well, we're almost out of time.
Yes.
Your assessment sounds really sober and measured. Perhaps Nigeria is overdue for a female president.
Well, yes. I don't know why I'm laughing. Well, if we have such women, you know, who are capable, who they put themselves up and they have the means. But you have to know that politics is a money game in Nigeria. If they have the means and the support of all Nigerians, both female and male, then why not? Why not?
Senator Chris Anyanwu, thank you very much indeed.
Okay.
Well, that's it for this edition of Nigeria, the Road to 2019. Join us again for a fresh edition tomorrow. From me and the entire team here in Abuja, bye-bye, and thank you for watching.